You humiliated your daughter in front of her friends? I feel like this is either something sweet that a mom did that the girl's like, oh my God, Mom, that's so lame. Or Mom might have been a little crazy. And I'm really interested to know which one it is. Which one do you think it is? Happy apple picking day! Really quick reminders for any of our new friends. If you want a chance for your stories to be featured on Am I the Bad Apple, you can send them to my subreddit, r/AmITheBadApple. And as a reminder, we all come from different branches of the apple tree. And what that means is we've all lived different lives and have different experiences. And those experiences are gonna shape our perspectives, our boundaries, our values, our morals. You're not gonna find any person in this world that matches yours completely. It's just not gonna happen. And we think about that while we're typing and discussing down in the comments and listening along. And we're also, while practicing constructive communication, remembering that you don't know what you don't know. And just because someone hasn't experienced something to gain a perspective doesn't make them a bad person. It just means you should have open dialogue and discuss. The best way to get someone to see your point of view is to talk civilly to them, not belittle them. No one's gonna listen to you if you do that. So without further ado, let's get started with this week's episode of Am I the Bad Apple? Let's go apple picking! Apple number 1. Am I the bad apple for not allowing my husband to apologize? I, 42 female, am going through a lot of drama this past week and I need to know if I'm in the wrong. Me and my ex-husband, 43 male, divorced a few years ago and we've had joint custody of our son, 11, since. My ex remarried and eventually became a stepfather to his new wife's daughter, 14 female. Everything was fine until last weekend. My son came home from a visit with his father and he was so upset. That's when my ex walked in and he told me what happened. My son's stepsister told my ex and her mom that my son stole money from her. And my ex and his wife just believed her. I couldn't believe it. I mean, my son's not like that and no one questioned it at all. My son even showed me the inside of his bag and I didn't see any money or proof. So I obviously sided with my son, which infuriated my ex and his new wife, and they all left my house. Later on, my ex-husband called, still super angry about everything, literally calling our son a disservice to society and a failure. He said our son was becoming a thief, a criminal, and that he never wanted to see our son again if that's the path that he was gonna go down, and said that he would become a monster who should be locked up since he had no remorse for stealing from his own family. My son was devastated. Of course, I got him into therapy to help him cope with this really traumatic thing that was happening to him. Wow. Surprise, surprise. Yesterday, my ex-husband called me in tears because apparently my son's stepsister finally told the truth and said that my son never stole money from her and she lied and made it up. And my ex, of course, wanted to talk to our son and apologize. But my son said no. He didn't want to talk to him. And my ex begged and pleaded and said that he knew that he messed up, but he really wanted to make it right and promised to help our son and to do better. I said no. Our son said no, and that's his right. My ex started crying and begged me to let him talk to him until I just hung up, but I'm kind of second guessing it now. Am I the bad apple for not forcing my son to hear his father out? I think there's gonna be a lot of opinions on this, truly. I think in a situation like this, there could be a lot of right answers, like with context, for sure. I think, you know, multiple things can be true at the same time, right? Because I know there's gonna be a lot of people that are like, well, that's your dad, hear him out. And there's gonna be a lot of people that say that they don't think the dad deserves to be heard out. I think there's just a lot of opinions. I think that some people are gonna say it's on the mom to try and encourage the son. And I think that there's not a perfect answer because there's a lot of factors that like we don't know. We don't know the extent that the son was kind of like impacted mentally. We know that obviously he's devastated, but we don't know like, is he someone that holds grudges? Is he someone that doesn't hold grudges? We don't know how involved his dad was beforehand. I think there's a lot of context that can kind of play into the right or wrong way to handle this. Here's my thoughts. I think when it comes to parents causing trauma in our lives, as kids, I think it's a lot more common than a lot of people would like to admit. And I'm not saying that makes someone like a bad parent or a bad person, you know. Parents are learning to, like they're living for the first time too. And the unfortunate reality is when you're a parent, people make mistakes. Sometimes it happens, and sometimes that has lasting consequences on your children. That is the reality of the situation. Some things are easier fixed and resolved than others. Do I think it is important for a child to have a relationship with both parents if they're able to have a healthy relationship with both parents? I think that's beautiful. That's something that I hold important because I have a great relationship with my parents. Is it something that everyone finds very important? No, and that's fine. You don't have to agree with me on that. And I'm not saying that I think that means the son should immediately hear his dad out. I think, genuinely, that the son should unpack this with his therapist, for sure. Right now, I think it's very fresh. I feel like making him talk to dad right now, not a great idea. I don't think it would be a bad idea as time goes on and as he unpacks this incident with his therapist. I don't think it's a bad idea for mom to, hey, what do you think about talking to your dad? Do you want to? Or do you not want to? And let him lead as he goes through the healing process. I think that's the best answer that I can give. So I'm gonna go good apple for not forcing him to sit there and hash it out with dad right then and there when he didn't feel able to. I know that there are sometimes kids can be in their feelings. Not that they're not valid, but you know, teen, pre-tween, like you got a lot of hormones, it can be an emotional time. There are some situations where I think strongly coaxing to hear a parent out is not the end of the world or a good idea. And there are times where I think that it's not the time. And this is one of those situations where I think it's not the time. Again, I think letting him deal with it with his therapist, letting him go on his little healing journey. Who knows, maybe in a week he'll cool off and feel better, maybe in a month. Maybe he's decided, you know, when I needed him, my dad wasn't in my corner and that was his gut reaction and I'm gonna hold on to that. I don't know. It's his journey. I would not be able to do that for this situation, but other people have different boundaries than me. Other people have different, you know, different lines in the sand, and that's okay, that's fine. So that's why I'm going good, Apple. I think you did the right thing here, and I would just kind of check in with him and see if his mind changes, and if not, that's also okay, that you're just checking in to give him the option if he wants it. Because just because it's dad's first time living, like, yeah, people make mistakes, it happens, that doesn't invalidate, like, what it did to that kid mentally, you know what I mean? Like, that's still important, that's still valid, and if he's like, because listen, I'll say this and then I'll shut up and move on. For a long time in my life, I've always been someone who is very quick to forgive, is very quick to, oh, I know you didn't mean it. I know you're not a bad person, but like, I'm always the one that's, you know, more so like throwing away my, like the impact to me and my feelings under the rug because like, I just want to validate someone apologizing. And in the last year, I really feel like I've kind of grown out of that. Not necessarily, like, of course, I'm always gonna hear people out. I'm always gonna give people the benefit of the doubt because that's just who I am as a person. But I no longer find it necessary to keep people who don't impact my life positively around. So like if there's, let's take this situation for example. If there's a situation someone's blatantly lying and they don't even give me a chance to explain myself, it's just immediately, oh my gosh, Rebecca, you're a terrible human being. They can apologize all they want, but like in that moment, they didn't even give me a chance to speak my mind, defend myself, anything. I don't mean that much to you. I don't mean enough to you for you to even think maybe there was a misunderstanding and you don't want to get to the bottom of it. Okay, that's fine. But then I'm not going to hustle up to be your best friend again. Like I only have so much free time in my life. That's not the kind of attitude that I want to invest the little bit of free time that I have in. You know what I mean? So yeah. Apple number 2. Am I the bad apple for making fun of a girl for being broke? I'm the maid of honor for my best friend's wedding, and I'm planning an 18-girl bachelorette party. In January, I started the group chat and put down a $7,000 deposit for the Airbnb. Everyone had until March to pay their $375 share. This week, I sent the rest of the budget, $250, which is due by April 1st. That's when I got a call from a girl named Alicia. Hey, it's Alicia. I didn't realize we were gonna have to send more money on top of the $375 that we already sent. I just moved into my first apartment and I have no money to give at the moment or even in the next couple of months. I definitely can't afford it right now. So do you wanna just give me the $375 back, or is there something we can work out for me to still be able to go? Just let me know. I replied, yeah, I'll send you the money back. And she said, okay, thank you. I refunded her, I reran the numbers, and I updated the group. The next day, I got a text from a girl named Beth saying that Alicia now wanted to just come for Saturday, and she would just come for Saturday with her. Okay, I was a little frustrated, but I adjusted the budget again. Then that night, after I sent out another update, a girl, Dana, told me that another girl, Caroline, had contacted her to ask me to give Alicia an extension. I've never met Alicia, Beth, Caroline, or Dana, so I was just very confused by all of this. So I texted Alicia and I said, hey, I'm honestly confused. You said you couldn't pay and wanted your money back, and then Beth said you were both coming for just Saturday, and now Dana is asking Caroline about an extension for you? I totally understand things can change, but each time I do, I have to redo all the numbers, which is a lot to manage. So can you just let me know what's going on? Like, what's your final decision so I can plan accordingly? Alicia responded saying, I didn't want my money back. I asked you if you were gonna give it back to me or if there was something we can do for me to still go, because I want to be there for the bride. I didn't ask Beth to ask you for me. She just did it. And so did Dana. They just want me to go. And I will do what Dana and Caroline are telling me to do. So thanks. I said, your words were, I have no money to give now or in the next couple months. I cannot afford it right now. Do you want me to just give you the $375 back? That to me sounds like a beat around the bush way of asking for your money back. I don't actually care who asked who. All I care about is the final decision. You didn't ask me for an extension. You didn't ask me to come up with a plan. You didn't come up with your own plan. You could have said, hey, money is tight for me. Would I be able to send you half of my remaining balance on this time and the other half at this time? But you didn't. All you said was, I cannot afford it now or in the next couple of months. I'm not a bank. I don't know you. I don't know your finances. And I'm not in charge of your finances. I can't read your mind. Well, Alicia's response said, the end of my text said, or is there something we can do for me to go? Let me know. Did you not read this part? You never let me know what else I could have done. I'm not beating around the bush at all, but gosh, why are you being so rude? You could have given everyone a heads up that the price could change or have had some kind of budget. Like, I get this is stressful for you, but you don't need to be rude to people, especially people you don't know. You know, I'm actually good. I just won't go. Hope it's easier for you. And when the bride asks why I'm not going anymore, I'll be sure to let her know. My last response to her is, girl, you're not going because you can't afford it. Just admit it. Well, now I'm making fun of her, and I'm making fun of her for being broke and making fun of her finances. This is ridiculous. I don't have time for this. Was I the bad apple? First of all, 18-person bachelorette party. Why? I just got chills. That's so stressful. That is like a disaster. That large of a group, I could never. Because like when even some of the people that I think are some of my greatest friends are people that I cannot travel with, because the way that people travel is not always cohesive. 18 people, half of which don't know each other, that feels like a disaster. Because even like when you have different friends from different circles, they're not all going to like each other. Like when I had my bachelorette party, there were 8 girls, I think? So I had 8 bridesmaids. And I'm assuming that all 18 of these girls are not all bridesmaids, which I'm not a fan of. Hey, I don't want you in my wedding, but I want you to come and pay for my bachelorette party. I'm not a huge fan of that, personally. And that's okay, you don't have to agree with me, that's fine. That's just like my own personal preference. But even just with the 8, I remember some people just did not get along and they did not mesh well, and I just know that those friends, I don't hang out with them at the same time, and that is okay. That's fine. There's only one friend from my bachelorette party, like that was in my bridal party, that I'm not still very close to, and she kind of dropped off the face of the earth for everyone and started a new life somewhere. And you know what? I hope she's happy. I hope she's living that best life. The other ones I don't talk to are just from like Avery's family, which I feel like is understandable. Everyone else actually does really well with each other now, which is great. I actually love that. That makes my heart happy. 18, you just gotta know some people are not going to mesh well together. I think that there was a lot of both miscommunication and pettiness on all sides. Personally. So like, for example, when I was Sarah's maid of honor, I was so particular about, you know, and how many people did we have on her bachelorette? It was me, sister, friend, 5, 6, There were 6 of us. And I laid out the schedule with times. I did the entire budget from the beginning. If there was anything that came up that wasn't in that budget, I just covered it because I was like, I didn't put that in the original budget. I don't want to change the numbers on them. I got it. It's fine. I feel like, and I'm not trying to make assumptions or anything, but based on this text for her to say, oh, well, in January, I told them that they had to pay this amount. And then now in June, I told them there's more. Did you let them know in January that that was just for the house? I feel like when you're splitting an Airbnb 18 ways, $300 something kind of feels like a lot. I don't think, they had to pay what? More than about $500 per person. That feels like a lot when you're splitting things 18 ways. Like, I would literally do catering stuff. I feel like if you have a nice big giant mansion, which it sounds like because that sounds expensive, do catering at the nice little whatever. Like this, I don't know what you got planned. I feel like over $500 is a lot. Or maybe, I don't even remember what I paid for Sarah or Lauren. I don't remember that either. I'm gonna be honest. I'm very fortunate and I'm like so for my people that when it comes to those things, I'm like, you just let me know what I owe you. Like that's fine. I want them to have the best time possible. So I don't know like what realistically is an appropriate amount to spend, but regardless, I feel like it wasn't communicated to everybody, hey, in 6 months I'm gonna basically double what you owe me for this. And I get it. Planning an 18-person bachelorette party, I mean, planning a 6-person one was so stressful. So stressful, and things still went wrong. And like, it happens, right? I can't imagine the stress of trying to rally 18 girls for however long they're going. But I feel like that was clearly missed somewhere. And when all of these people were like texting you, hey, well, she wants to come for a day. Well, can you give her an extension? Can you do this? Can you do that? That's when I would have picked up the phone and called her. I understand text is easier, at least a voice memo, because I feel like, especially if you don't know these girls, sometimes text can come across very differently than how you mean it. I really like voice memos because you don't have to sit and stop what you're doing if you don't have time for a phone call, but you can still get your tone and your inflections and, you know, the cadence and like all of it's like captured in the voice memo so they can hear that you're like genuinely curious and not trying to be snarky and like genuinely caring and just trying to figure it all out, you know what I mean? I feel like the texting after is where things kind of turned bad. And I'm not saying that, what's her name? Alicia. I'm not saying that Alicia's not in the wrong. I'm just focusing on OP right now, the maid of honor. And I feel like after Alicia was like, well, I asked you to let me know, my response would just be like, this is a lot for me to plan and organize. I don't really have the time to figure out a personalized plan for 18 girls. If you have an idea of something that's reasonable, let me know. But I just, you know, I got my own stuff and 17 other girls to worry about right now. Like, I want you to come, I just can't sit here micromanaging everybody. And of course we want you there, I just, you know, I don't know what's reasonable to ask of you and what's not. I don't want to sit here and beg you to come if you really can't afford it and like mess with your bills. Like, that's why I didn't come up with whatever, because that would be my thought. If they were like, hey, do you want to give me this money back or do you want to figure something else out? I would feel guilty trying to, oh, please, 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 because if they can't afford it, and even just giving them an extension would put them behind on bills. I don't want to do that to a person. So I would definitely let them come up with what is reasonable. I'm like, you let me know and I can work with you. I definitely think that was on Alicia. But when she went back and was like, girl, you're not coming because you can't afford it. That's rude. Like, you had me until that text, right? I was with you until that text message, even if you didn't explicitly explain enough about the finances to the girls. Because again, maybe, you know, it's a stressful job planning a bachelorette party in general, much less an 18-person one, you know? If something slipped through the cracks, I still wouldn't give you a bad apple for that, because things can be missed. It happens. We're human. But the comment about her being broke, that was too much for me. That crossed the line for me. I'm sorry. That puts you in the wrong. Now, that doesn't mean Alicia's not in the wrong too. I think, like, we're all adults, right? We're all adult enough to get married, go on bachelorette trips, have our first apartments, you know? We're all grown adults. It is not up to another grown adult to figure out what is possible for you in your finances. If you want to go, then like come up with some options. Is this an option? Is this possible? Can I do XYZ? Come up with options. She's not your mother. You don't even know this girl. You're a grown adult. If you want to be there for the bride, be there for the bride. This maid of honor is literally putting together an 18-person trip, the least you can do. If you're making it more difficult, even like not on purpose, you know, but you are, but it's not your fault. At least it wasn't at first. The least you can do is, you know, come up with some options that she doesn't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? And if she says, oh, I'll just give you the money back, if that's not what you want, speak up then. But you can't take that as a, oh, okay, thanks, yeah, send me the money back, and then come back with, well, I told you to let me know what else I could do. She gave you an option, you took it. Why? She's worrying about the 17 other people right now. You are not her first priority. Like when the maid of honor is coming to you and saying, hey, I'm hearing a lot of things, I don't know what's going on, just let me know what your plan is, just let me know. I feel like Alicia then set the sour tone. Well, I didn't ask for my money back, and I'm just gonna do what these people say, and I didn't ask these people. Well, why are you so defensive? Like, if that were me in that moment, I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that this is kind of like a mess. I'm a tornado person. That's my phrase. I say it all the time. People who like are around me in real life, I say that literally all the time. I'm a tornado person. I'm so sorry. And I would just say, I really wanna go, and I think they're just trying to find options for me to do that. What's possible? Sorry, this is so much. I appreciate what you do. Like, that's what my response would be. But this, well, I didn't want my money back, and you did this, and well, why are you pointing fingers? No one's doing anything to you, girl. No one's doing anything to you. You set the sassy tone, and you got an attitude, and then you got one back, and then you tried to up it by getting her in trouble with the bride. Girl, this is the bride's maid of honor. Are you a bridesmaid or are you just going? You think the bride is gonna be mad at her best friend for trying to organize this thing? What do you think you're going to do? Like, this is just dramatic for no reason. Even though Alicia definitely started it, I still think maid of honor crossed the line with the comment at the end. No, I don't think she was like making fun of her for being broke. I think she was trying to make a point and being like, this is a you problem, not a me problem, but I still think it crossed the line. I still didn't like it. So I'm gonna go Bad Batch, personally. And I just hope they can get it together and figure it out in time for that bachelorette party, because like, this is about the bride, it's not about you guys. Like, just let her have her weekend. Get over yourselves. Just get over yourselves. Apple number 3. Am I the bad apple for banning a kid from hanging out with us? I, 20 female, play Roblox with some other adult friends. My best friend, who I'll call Jess, 22 female, streams Dress to Impress, which is a dress-up competition game on Roblox that we all play. I'm her live stream moderator, and often will add people to my friends list who come into her live streams regularly. It just gives them an easier time in joining Jess in the game. One of her viewers, who we'll just call Kid, is one of those examples. The problem arises with my Dress to Impress private server. For those that don't know how the game works, Roblox private servers allow you a server completely to yourself where friends can join, but no random people like in normal servers. I pay about $10 a month to keep this server. I use it constantly to make outfits and film videos for my TikTok gaming account. Here's where I might be a jerk. I don't want this kid to join my server. I go in there to relax and be away from people and just do the things that I want to do. I don't want to deal with little kids, and Kid being so young, an 8-year-old boy, is a lot. He just wants to be a part of and talk to everyone. What are you doing? What's this? Blah, blah, blah. I don't want it. He's a kid, and I get he's just being a kid, and that's fine. He can go be a kid somewhere else. I don't want him in my server. Well, Jess thinks that makes me a jerk. She said that Kid watches her stream and she appreciates the support, and I should include him so that he keeps coming around and helps support her. I get where she's coming from, but I pay for this server. I don't want him on my friends list. I don't want him in my safe space. Shouldn't I get to choose who comes into it? Am I the bad apple for banning him from being around and coming into the server that I pay for? No, okay. I think there's going to be some adults that don't really like understand the internet world and the social media world that are like, oh, it's just a kid, let him tag around. Yeah, I do. As someone in this industry, I think it's weird that a 22-year-old, how old is Jess? A 20-year-old is like, we should totally let this 8-year-old into our servers. No. 8-year-olds should not be around people in their 20s casually having adult conversations as they do with their friends. Like, no. Something that it made me think of is like when kids are like, oh, I was best friends with my teachers. That's weird. There is no reason that a grown adult should be like best friends with a child. That's weird. Now, you're teachers and you can be friendly and have a positive relationship and care about each other. No adult should consider a child to be their close friend. I think that's odd. Mentor-mentee relationship, sure. I personally find it a red flag when someone's best friends are like you don't have best friends that are your age? Why? Why do people that are your age not like hanging around you? That's my question. Like even, you know, I do Discord a lot with my friends that I play video games with. I tried making like a content like Rebecca Rogers Discord server. I was really bad at keeping up with it. But my friends on Discord literally still keep up with it. I tried. There's a lot of moving pieces and like I don't have management. Like it's just me. The Discord is the most I have help with other than my editor Lena. Like everything else is completely just on me. I can't do it all, guys. And like Discord rules, I think it's 13. If you're not 13, you're not supposed to have an account. And so if anyone made their age known and they were younger than that, immediate ban. They shouldn't be there. It's not appropriate. It's not about not wanting them around and not including them. It's just not an appropriate setting for them. You're in different places of life. That when you're having a casual conversation with your friends about life, an 8-year-old doesn't need to be there. The things that I deal with in my 20s as a 29-year-old woman, not anything that is any business of an 8-year-old. And I don't want to have to sit there and just be on and entertaining a child all day. I'm relaxing. I always get asked, like, Rebecca, you do so many video games with your friends. Are you going to stream? No, because I don't know how to say this and it not get misconstrued, because it's been misconstrued by some people, some like fans that I've talked to. When I said, I don't necessarily want to be on all the time. And they're like, well, I thought you were the same person on and off the camera. Well, yeah, I do my best to be as much as possible. Being authentic and genuine is very important to me. But sometimes, like when I'm playing like Assassin's Creed, I just want to sit there and be in my head in the game. I don't want to sit there and like narrate what I'm doing. I don't want to sit there and like talk to, not that talking to like you guys is a chore, but like I just want to sit there in my own head and enjoy the silence. That's not fun for a stream, you know what I mean? Or like if I'm having a bad game and I'm just in a bad mood because I'm not playing well. Not that there's anything like that happens, that's human nature, especially when people play games and it doesn't go well, it happens, people get tilted. But I don't feel like I would feel like I could just be tilted and get over it and move on. I would feel like I would have to pretend to be all gung, you know what I mean? Like it's not, people just want their safe space. Like when they play games and they're doing stuff with their friends, whether it's Roblox or League of Legends or Assassin's Creed or whatever it is, people just want to be able to just be, and they don't want to have to watch over other people's kids, or sometimes they don't want an audience, or sometimes they don't want to be bothered. They just kind of want to be in their own head, and that is okay. But no, you are not a bad apple for making sure that an 8-year-old is not an adult in an adult space. Period. Apple number 4. Am I the bad apple for humiliating my daughter at her sleepover? I, 42 male, have 2 kids living with me. My daughter Anya, 17 female, and my stepson Noah, 14 male. Noah's mom passed a few years ago and I've had full custody since. He's had a rough go of it, but he's a good kid, just has a few quirks. He's not antisocial or shy, but he doesn't appreciate having his space invaded, and when very upset, he can kind of shut down. Anya is much more outgoing and has tons of friends. She has to have a sleepover this weekend with 4 of them, and I said, yeah, of course, but given which friends were coming over, I know that they're kind of loud and a little rowdy, have a tendency to crowd Noah, which I know he does not like. So I told her that there were 2 rules. Don't go into her brother's room and keep things down after 11 so that the rest of the house can sleep. In my opinion, these should be reasonable and not strict at all. To my surprise, I came upstairs to check on them around 10. I mean, they're 17. I didn't think I needed to check on them every hour or anything. They're almost adults. And surprise, surprise, they're in Noah's room. And they looked like they'd been there for a while too. 2 of them were literally sitting on his bed with him there. Another was flipping through his sketchbook, and another was messing with his other stuff. And they were all kind of giggling. Well, All of them except for Noah. Noah was clearly upset and annoyed. Didn't say anything, didn't move, but there were borderline tears in his eyes, and he didn't respond when I tried to call out to him. I told the girls to just get out right then and there, that I was calling every single one of their parents and telling them how they did not respect my house rules, and I only gave them 2 of them, and that they needed to go home. Anya was pretty upset with me, but I told her that there were 2 rules, just 2. Very simple, very reasonable, and they failed spectacularly. If she couldn't handle those 2 things when having friends over, she clearly couldn't handle having friends over. I did call all of their parents, and I sent them home as soon as possible. And of course, Anya blew up, saying that I humiliated her. I told her to go to her room and that we would speak about this in the morning. I then made sure to spend about 20 minutes with Noah before he decided he just wanted to cool down on his own, and I let him do that. I went back to check on my daughter before I went to bed, and she chose not to speak to me, which is fine. It's late, and I'm hoping that both of my kids are asleep, but I'm really nervous I might not have handled this correctly. Am I the bad apple? Listen, I don't have kids. I have no experience with a blended family. I'm so obsessed with how you handled this. I think, and I could be wrong, I could be just ignorant in this sphere of life, so I'm hoping the parents, especially the blended family parents, can let me know. I think this was perfect for so many reasons. First of all, like, I think how you handled Anya was perfect, because this is a 17-year-old girl who knows what Noah's been dealing with. And I understand siblings fight, siblings bicker. I get that. But there's a difference between like sibling bickering and going out of your way to invade someone's space, make them uncomfortable, see that they're about to cry, knowing the things that they've been dealing with. Like, that's just mean. They're bullying him. They're being bullies. And I always am on the side that if parents are actively like seeing their kids being a bully, you nip that in the bud. And I said it right that time, okay? All of y'all said. I used to say nip it in the butt because I thought that's what the saying was, and you all let me know in the comments that it wasn't. I said it right that time. Just, you hear that? Not only the daughter, but the friends also. Like, no, they should be held accountable for their actions. If they are not able to get together and not bully someone, maybe they don't need to get together. Maybe they're not able to handle that. Maybe they should work on themselves before going and hanging out in a group setting, because they clearly have some inner work to do. These are 17-year-old girls. They are too old to be acting like this. Absolutely hold them accountable for their actions. And it's not even like they were just bullying him, which is already bad enough. But you said, leave him alone, don't go in his space. And they just, that's rude. That's mean. It's just mean behavior. It's going out of her way to be mean and bully someone going through a rough time, much less her stepbrother. I don't like it, and I absolutely hold her accountable for the actions. If she can't handle a sleepover, she can't handle a sleepover. And then, obviously, like, the way you handled Noah, I'm gonna start crying, I thought was so sweet. Because, and I hate the terms that I'm about to use, but I'm hoping you guys will know what I mean. Because, like, when you have a blended family, like, your kids are your kids. They're all your kids. For you to side with Noah, your stepson, and come to his defense against your biological daughter, I think was so important for him to see. Oh, I'm gonna start crying. Like, he lost his parent, you know? And I think it would be very easy for a kid in that situation to feel like the person in the world who was completely, undeniably on their side is gone, and to feel so helpless in that. And like, you showed him that no matter who it is, you will stand up for him. And I think that he needed that so badly, and I think you did a beautiful job of that. Not only that, but then going in, checking on him, showing that you're there to support him, but then giving him his space when he was ready to take it. Like, I think it's beautiful. I think you did a beautiful job, and I love that. So I'm going good apple on that, and I'm gonna stop crying. That's like if you clear your throat, it like blocks your tear ducts. It's a trick, try it. Ugh. All right, so I got 3 good apples and 1 bad batch. At least that's what I got. Let me know if you got anything similar or different. I would love to hear down in the comments. And as always, if you want to transfer your stories to be featured on Am I the Bad Apple, you can send them to my subreddit, r/AmITheBadApple. And for your well wishes today, oh my gosh, we got a lot. We got a lot. I'm okay with this. This is a good one. This is a good day. It is National Handshake Day, which is fine. That's not the exciting part. National Coconut Day. I love coconut. I know not everyone loves coconut. I love coconut. National Chocolate Pudding Day. I'm here for it. Prefer coconut personally, but National Bomb Pop Day, which the firecracker popsicles, that's the picture. It's like the red, white, and blue popsicles. Those are good. that might give coconut a run for its money. And National Barcode Day, which you know what, with this lineup, I love, yay for people who celebrate Barcode Day, but I feel like it's got some tough competition. I do. If I had to pick, it's a race between coconut and bomb pops. It just is. You know what? It's 102 degrees outside. I'm gonna go with bomb pops today. I just am. Yeah, that feels like a good choice. I actually have like the little, what is it? The hydration things. You know what I'm talking about? What's the name? Oh my gosh. The little powder with the electrolytes. Liquid IV, that's the one. I literally have the little firecracker popsicle flavors downstairs. That's how I'll celebrate. I'm also gonna go get a popsicle because it's you know what? Maybe I won't leave the house because it's 102 degrees outside, so I'll just do the water flavoring. That feels like a good choice. I would love to hear down in the comments which day you are celebrating today. And as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a great rest of your day and hope to see you all next week. Bye, my lovelies. Mwah.